Harry Matthews came into the world in Emmett, Idaho, but it wasn't long before life carried his family north to Seattle. His father, Lou Matthews, wasn't just a blacksmith. He was a man who saw fire in his son's eyes. That fire was boxing. And by the time Harry was only 9, the hammer and anvil in his father's shop became the rhythm for his fists. Lou pushed his boy hard. He believed Harry could make it, and he didn't waste time. Still in his teens, Harry was thrown into the world of professional boxing. The year was 1938. He hadn't even turned 18, yet he was already fighting grown men heavier, older, sharper. They called him Kid. And the Kid could fight. Out of his first 34 battles, he lost only 3. People started noticing. One of his shining moments came when he shocked the boxing world by defeating former middleweight champion Al Hostak. But the road wasn't smooth. The Kid also faced the feared men of the so-called Murderers Row, Jack Chase and Eddie Booker, and those fights humbled him. Then came the war. In 1943, Matthews traded his gloves for a rifle. The Army took him to the Pacific, where he fought at the brutal Battle of Luzon. He left the ring behind, but never lost his fighting spirit. When it was all over, Harry returned home in 1946, no longer just a boxer. He was Corporal Harry Matthews, honorably discharged, scarred by war, but ready for the next chapter of his fight. When Harry Matthews came back from the war, he wasted no time. The ring was waiting, and so was the fight. He picked up his gloves again, and soon went on a remarkable winning streak. But even with victory after victory, Matthews found himself stuck in place. The problem wasn't his fists, it was everything around them. Poor management, a style that fans called too cautious, too careful. The wins were piling up, but the spotlight stayed dim. Then 1949 arrived, and with it came Jack Hurley, a sharp-talking promoter with a nose for opportunity. Hurley became Matthews' manager, and the story changed. Hurley wasn't interested in playing it safe. He wanted Harry in the heavyweight spotlight, where the money, the fame, and the danger all lived. Under Hurley's hand, Matthews shifted his style. No more quiet defense. Hurley pushed him forward, unleashing his power, making him aggressive, making him exciting. And the results spoke for themselves. Knockouts, headlines, a fighter suddenly transformed into a show. The wins kept rolling. The crowds grew louder. And soon, Harry Matthews climbed high enough to face Irish Bob Murphy, the #1 light heavyweight contender. Matthews beat him. Just like that, Harry was the man, the top contender. The world title was right there. Joey Maxim, the light heavyweight champion, was waiting. But then came a twist. Jack Hurley said no. He turned down the fight. His reason? He wanted Harry focused on the heavyweights. In truth, he was chasing another dream. A match with the great Sugar Ray Robinson. That fight, though, never happened. And with that choice, Harry Matthews' best chance at a world title slipped through his hands. He agreed with his manager, but deep down, history would remember it as the moment the door quietly closed. Harry Matthews wasn't done. After the heartbreak of missing his title shot, he pressed forward, determined to prove himself among the giants. And he did. One by one, he took down names that carried weight. Lloyd Marshall, Freddie Besher, Danny Nardico, and the dangerous Rex Lane. With each victory, his place among the heavyweight elite grew stronger. Then came the night of truth. 1952, a title eliminator against a man who would soon be feared by the entire division, Rocky Marciano. It was a clash of streaks. Marciano, 41-0, a wrecking machine. Matthews, riding an incredible 50 straight wins since the war. Two men, both unbeaten in years, both chasing destiny. Harry tried to outbox him, using his reach, his footwork, his craft. The first round looked promising, but Marciano was relentless. In the second, he broke through. A brutal double left hook crashed against Matthews, and just like that, the streak was over. Defeat didn't end him, but it slowed him. Harry fought on, though not as often. He entered a trilogy with Britain's Don Cockle. The first 2 fights were razor close, arguments for years after. The third ended painfully. His back gave out, forcing him to stop in the 7th. Even so, Matthews still had one last great moment. In 1956, he outpointed former heavyweight champion Ezzard Charles, a victory that proved his class one final time. But after that, the gloves came off. One more fight, and he retired. The record speaks for itself. Over 18 years, Harry Matthews fought more than 100 times. 90 wins, 61 by knockout, and only 7 defeats. A career carved out with grit, power, and resilience. Life after boxing took him in new directions. He trained fighters like Abar Arrington. He became a businessman, running a tavern and a welding company. And when the final bell came in 2003, Harry Matthews passed away in Seattle, the city where his story had truly begun, at the age of 80. He was the kid who grew into a warrior, a fighter who never stopped chasing, never stopped swinging, and left behind a legacy that still echoes through the sport.